This is Coding with Assembly Part 2, and today we're going to learn new stuff about assembly by using the second program in SPPU syllabus, that is, finding the length of string input by user. Just take a string from the user and return the length of the string. We are going to learn new concepts such as macros and rotate as well. What basically is rotate, and a bit of branching controls as well, which we didn't really do much in the first program. So let's get started. First of all, we'll get started with a section.data, where we will define all the variables which we will need. Input message, tell the user to enter a string, blah blah blah.
The output message
And we'll go to section.bss, where we will
reserve space for variables.
here str1 is our string name. I'm going to reserve word is going to reserve 100 memory locations. Each character we input is going to be stored in 2 bytes. We'll need a result variable as well, and I'll give it say 50. All right, and we'll obviously need a counter again. So yeah, that is going to be just a single byte counter. Now we have to define a macro. So what is a macro? So a macro is basically similar to inline function in C++. Hey, I don't want to write this code again and again. So I just want the computer to understand this keyword, some piece of code. Okay, but the disadvantages of macro is that it always copies and pastes that code again and again whenever you call it. So please be mindful and don't put really long lines of code in macros. This is our macro. We take 3 arguments over here, and you might wonder what is the %1 sign. So these are basically mapped to the arguments. So the first argument is given to these two. The second argument is going to be the variable name, which will be given to RSI. Third will be given to RDI. Okay, but anyways, so we'll do section.text global start just like we've always done. This is the input message, enter a string for me. Okay, so we'll do the same. We'll ask the user to kindly enter a string. See over here 0 1. So RAX को 1 मिला, RDI को भी 1 मिला, which is basically telling the computer कि okay, see RAX में 1 है, so sys write function चालू होगा, RDI में 1 गया, so now std out wala file handler will be active, right? So these two combined will output stuff, and again input message and input message length. So this is a very good way for you to like be lazy basically. Okay, yes, I am promoting being lazy. We have input str1, right? So what happens is whenever you input something, the length of that string or the variable which you have inputted gets stored in the register. So after we are done with this, I'll debug the program and I'll show you कि कैसा होता है. So we entered hello. Now if you can see, यहाँ पे 6 characters store हुए हैं in the RAX. Here 15. So enter a string has a length of 15. Right, so this is the property of accumulator which we are going to use. Okay, it basically takes the length of the stuff that it's either inputting or outputting. We are going to steal that. I mean, sorry, copy it. Length is in hex. Okay, so hex is basically hexadecimal. To deal with this issue, the computer converts hexadecimal to hex ASCII. The process to make incoherent gibberish to something which even your 2-year-old brother can understand starts by moving 16 to the counter. Okay, so we take the byte of CTR and move 16 to it. The RBP point to the result, because, well, this is where we are going to show the result of the length, right? So yeah, we'll just delete this. This is totally useless. We are making the RBB point to result so that the RBB can update the contents of result. Then we'll start the process of rotating the bits. To convert hex to ASCII hex, we need to rotate individual bits of the number 4 times. Then we'll move the MSB to A, that is accumulate. We'll perform the logical AND operation of A with 0 for each. Okay, over. Now, if the bit is greater, we need to perform a different operation, and if the bit is lesser, we'll perform a different operation. So, for greater, we add 37 to the um, accumulator, else we add 30. Over here, I'll define the label for add underscore 37, and I'll just do this add AL comma 37 instead of 30H. Right now we've done skip over here so that we've put skip over here so that like the control doesn't add 37 after adding 30. So addition is only done once basically. This is just to ensure that. Now we go to skip, okay, and after skipping in the skip label, we have to move the. Okay, so this is what this command does. This basically moves the uh, contents of AL to result, since RBP is basically pointing to result, right? Now, after that, we add 1 to RBP so that RBP gets incremented, right? Date the counter by using decrement byte, and then if the counter is not 0, that is, this operation has not been carried out 16 times yet, we keep on repeating the operation by J and Z. So this is pretty much it. Now all we need to do is write the output message. We'll write it over here. Yeah. So RW01 OP message length, which is our output message, and then we'll write the result. Let's compile this and try to run it. Look at these commands and you can follow along as well. Slash output. Yeah. Now we'll enter a string. Hello. Yeah, see, we get 0006 over here. That is because the string also contains the enter keyword, right? If you want an examination, you could probably use a NLDB and just a 0xA afterwards. You know, your code, your output looks cleaner. And then just write over here. That's We'll run the program and enter a string. Okay. Okay, I wrote the spelling of subscribe wrong. I probably must be like the worst YouTuber to exist who doesn't know the spelling of subscribe.